Victor Davis Hanson ends Elon Musk, his party, so bad and so definitively because basically Elon Musk is going to end up being the only danger to MAGA. The only thing that Elon Musk is going to accomplish is possibly getting Democrats elected. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's watch Victor Davis Hanson together.
Elon Musk, as we all know now, has had a rupture. The friendship between himself and Donald Trump has been ruptured. Now they're not just frenemies, but they're kind of hostiles. And they're going back and forth against each other. This is a tragedy because we have the world's richest and probably most creative man versus one of the most successful politicians of the 20th and 21st centuries, Donald Trump, and wonderful president so far. And they should be working together. But now Elon Musk, in his anger, has decided to create a new party called the American Party. And he outlined the platform, and whether it's on regulation, taxes, tariffs, free speech, it's very Republican. It's not close at all to the Democratic platform, but it's really it's almost identical to the Libertarian Party. And it's designed, I'm afraid, to lose seats for the Republicans in the 2026 midterm elections, and maybe even if he were to be successful in the 2028 presidential election.
Okay, this can't be emphasized enough because I've said this before. Libertarians, all they are is third-party jam cars, the third party that splits the Republican vote, because no Democrat's going to go for this party. Democrats hate Elon Musk, okay? Democrats burned his Tesla dealerships down. They're not going to vote for Elon Musk, the American Party. The only chance is for Elon Musk to say, oh, Trump, you're my enemy? How about I destroy your Republican Party by splitting MAGA down the middle? So I'm going to take the more libertarian side that are just fiscal conservatives, have no social issues. That is, they don't care about Planned Parenthood being shut down. They don't care about hiring more ICE people through the big, beautiful bill, ICE agents to remove illegal aliens. Remember, libertarians are neutral on country borders. I don't have time to tell you guys what libertarians believe, but libertarians are atheistic. They're more close to Democrats than Republicans, but fiscally, they're close to conservative fiscal conservatism. But everything else, all of the social issues, they're Democrat. They're pro-gay marriage. They're anti-family. They're for H-1B visas, hiring Indian brainiacs to come and replace American jobs. They don't believe in borders. They're legalizing drugs, all that, okay? Just so you guys know. So Elon Musk, according to Victor Davis Hanson, this is the first indictment of Elon Musk's party is all it's going to do is damage Trump, damage MAGA, damage Republicans, and get Democrats elected in 2026 and possibly 2028.
A word of caution. All of us know the history of third-party movements, and it's not very good. And I'll get to that in a second. So it would be logical and probably wise to say that, well, this is crazy. Elon Musk is just nursing a grudge. He's going to spend a lot of money, and the American Party is going to go nowhere. After, remember the name American Party? It's kind of reminiscent. I don't know if that was intended. Of course it wasn't. But in 1968, George Wallace and Curtis LeMay, one of my heroes, the head of the B-29 program in World War II, ran as a third party on the American Independent Party. They added independent, but that was an American Party. Third party, they got about 8% of the vote. So it's kind of an effort to hurt Donald Trump, both in the Congress and his successor in 4 years. But here's the question that I have for Elon Musk, and that is, does he really believe that he can pull this off? Apparently he does. I would like to say, as I said, that it's impossible that he can do it. But I would also have said 10 years ago, it's impossible that anybody can break into the big three auto companies. We had American Motors dropped out. Tesla still has the highest stock value of the big three. I would have thought no one could ever challenge NASA, that government monopoly. He did. I thought, wow, he paid so much for Twitter. How could you can't just rebrand it X and after paying 3 times its market value be a force? Would it work? He did it. I don't need to get into Starlink. So everything he's done is successful. So people should be very careful about writing a third-party movement off.
I do want to make one more case in supporting what he said about Elon Musk's third party possibly winning. Remember, this third party, the American Party, is an anti-Trump party. So if it was just something that came out a month ago, it would have no chance. But in the last 24 hours, remember, Trump has huge backlash from inside MAGA for the Epstein files, not releasing any or saying that there's nothing there to see and that investigation is over. MAGA was furious. I saw in the comments below on all that going, I'm going to join the American Party. The number 2, Trump just announced that he was going to send some defensive weapons to Ukraine. And again, the comments below are all saying the America Party is starting to look good because they're not going to fund Ukraine, supposedly. So it's entirely possible, while I discount Elon Musk, and I believe his party is largely stillborn, that is, it came out and it's not getting any support, it could easily get support if Trump does stuff that keeps splitting MAGA, and if Elon Musk keeps being more attractive on that libertarian side of MAGA, just fiscal conservatives that don't care about social issues.
In 1980, John Anderson, a moderate Republican, didn't get along with Ronald Reagan. He said he was going to run as a third party. Remember that Reagan, until about the last 3 weeks of the campaign, was running behind Jimmy Carter. And everybody said, John Anderson, if he takes 6 or 7, which he did, % of the vote, Reagan will lose. Reagan won. If you look at the 2 third-party runs by Ross Perot, remember 1992? He really had a grudge against the Bushes. He ran, and he got almost 19% of the vote. And if you look at the margin that Bill Clinton won by, about 8 or 9 points, that did hurt George H.W. Bush. I do think that most people felt that Ross Perot was more conservative than liberal and closer to the Bush position than he was the Clinton. And that third-party effort in 92 spoiled the re-election bid of George H.W. Bush in large part. He did it again in 1996. Everybody writes that second attempt off him. He pulled out. He was all over the map. He still won almost 9% of the vote. And if you add up all of Bob Dole's votes, popular votes, and Ross Perot's, and I think he was much closer to Bob Dole than he was to Bill Clinton, who was running for re-election. It's almost equal to the Clinton vote.
Okay, so that's 2 elections that Ross Perot threw to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton probably wouldn't have won if Ross Perot didn't run in 92. And in 96, Clinton probably wouldn't have won his second election against Bob Dole if Ross Perot didn't run. Now, Ross Perot was running on paying down the debt and fiscal conservatism. I only want to say, who was more fiscally conservative between George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton raised taxes by more than George H.W. Bush ever would have. Bill Clinton raised taxes, again, more than Bob Dole ever would have. So all Ross Perot did in being a fiscal conservative was to elect communists, socialists, gun grabbers, perverts. That's what Elon Musk could do against the current Republican Party and against J.D. Vance and against 2026 in the House and the Senate. Do you support Elon Musk or do you support Donald J. Trump in this battle for the Republican Party? I'd love to hear what you guys think in the chat below. I'm Doug in Exile.